Hi, beautiful souls. I just wanted to share a few words on freedom and control because the last few days I've been looking after my sister's little cat, Min Min. And Minnie really did not want to be kept in the house. She had to be kept in the house because she wasn't used to this house. This house is not her house. This is not her home. It's quite a distance from her home. And cats don't think about, oh, I must be careful, I don't want to get lost. You know, they come from their hearts, just like all animals. They are in the moment. They don't think with their heads. So I had to keep her inside. I took her out every now and again on a harness, which she actually became very good at waiting to have put on her, just like a little dog, in fact. But she really did not appreciate having her freedom taken from her. And this is a little cat, a darling, sweet, innocent little cat. And then you think about all of the people out there, all of the animals out there, all of those beings out there that are being controlled in some way, with their freedoms taken from them, and how that feels when a person's freedom or a being's freedom, like Lanto for instance, his freedom was taken from him early on and he was in a shelter for 6 years. You get used to it. You acclimatize to having your freedom taken from you, and you become small. Your ability to cope with space changes, and you doubt yourself. You don't trust in yourself, and you don't trust in your environment as easily because you become distorted in your perceptions, and it just grates on the innocence of that being. It takes away that pureness of spirit, the pureness where we revel in just being, expressing ourselves freely without any concerns or worries, because there are always concerns and worries, even if they're not thought about, when a being is incarcerated, when their freedoms are taken from them, or when they're being controlled by somebody else. So the point of me sharing this is to consider how you can give more freedom to others. Not only receive more freedom in yourself, like how can you live more freely, more purely, with more clarity, pure living, innocence in living, kindness, gentleness, but how can you also give more freedom to those around you and relinquish the need to control. So many people think that they aren't controlling, but if you look at your parents, look at the way you were brought up, look at the authority figures that you had around you when you were a young child, then you'll see where a lot of your patterns were formed. And if you haven't already done the inner work there, then you really must, if you want to clear those distortions in this time frame reality. And if you don't care about that, then that's fine, or if you don't believe in that, that's also fine. But I invite you to clear those distortions for the more peace and expansion for your beingness whilst you're here in this beautiful human body. There's no mistake why you're here at this time. You're here at this time for a reason. And so, you know, why not make the most of it? I also invite you to consider all of the innocent animals, not only the innocent elder animals, but the ones that are young and pure. 2 ladies that I know, dog walkers, were outraged the other day whilst they were discussing how shocking it was when one of them was living in Hong Kong many years ago, and her child pointed out a stack of cages with puppies in them, waiting beside a meat vendor who was selling them to become ingredients in the kitchen. Now, this is outrageous to so many people. How could anyone even begin to think of eating a dog? But when you when you purify and you release more and more distortions, you'll also feel the same about other beings, because there is no difference. They are all friends. They're all worthy of life here on this earth plane. And in the past, where the Creator wanted to experience polarity and experience that way of being, those distortions were a natural part of creating polarity and suffering and harm. But when we move into higher states of love and consciousness, then we know that that's not something that we wish to be part of. And so we refrain from that kind of practice, because we only want to place our intention, our actions, into areas where we are innocent, applying innocence, applying purity, applying clarity, applying pure love. So I just want you to consider where you can be more open to allowing more freedom for yourself and for others, all beings, and where you can release some of the control that you may be placing upon yourself or on others or on all beings. This is just an invitation, and you may take it or leave it as you like. God bless you. Peace, love, and freedom.